Video 5, sine theta squared plus sine theta squared times tan theta squared is equal to. And so what we do here is we immediately start to write the expression down. Remember, the more you write, the better is your chance to see the mathematics unfold. And what we do is to write tan theta squared as sine theta squared divided by cos theta squared. In fact, we can draw that line through like that, and then we can write this as a fraction as well. And so here what we have is two fractions. And then you're going to find that the best is to now find the lowest common denominator. And the lowest common denominator is cos theta squared. So we're going to have to manipulate the first expression so that the denominator here is also cos theta squared. So we're going to multiply bottom and top by cos theta squared. You then have an expression that is simply one fraction, of which the denominator is cos theta squared, and on the left you see cos theta squared times sine theta squared, and the second term is sine theta squared times sine theta squared. And what we can then do is here in the numerator we can see that we can take sine theta squared as a common factor. So we take sine theta squared as a common factor, and we then sit with cos theta squared plus sine theta squared. That we get from the expression that you see there that are underlined, and also on the right hand side. At the bottom we have cos theta squared, and as we know, cos theta squared plus sine theta squared is equal to 1. And we are then left with this expression, which is sine theta squared divided by cos theta squared, and sine theta squared divided by cos theta squared is tan theta squared. And there sits your answer, A. All right, let's move on to the next question. And we have here an algebraic expression v squared plus v is equal to 8. That is given. And the question is, determine the value of v to the 4 plus v to the 3 plus 8v plus 7. So what we're going to do here is we'll start by considering the quadratic equation that is given, and we're going to treat this as a normal quadratic equation and try to solve it to find the value of v, so that we can take the value of v and simply substitute it back wherever I see the v there into that expression to determine the value of the expression. Now if you look at the equation that we've written down here, 1v squared plus 1v minus 8 is 0. This equation does not yield rational roots, but what we can, because we cannot factorize it, but what we can do is we can use the quadratic formula, and we can say v is equal to minus b. B is of course 1, that's minus 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 1 squared, minus 4a is 1, c is minus 8, divided by 2a. And if you simplify this, this will eventually give you the square root of 33. So it's minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 33 over 2. Now we sit with a problem here. And the problem that we have is that we want to find the value of the expression v to the 4 plus v to the 3 and so forth. And the value of v that we have here is irrational. Now, clearly, to take this expression, the value of v, and there are two roots, that's the first problem. So we can, for example, take the positive one. But if we plug it into the value of v in the expression at the top, it's just going to be virtually impossible to do that without a calculator. So there has to be another way to do this. And what we're going to do is we're simply going to consider the expression as it was given right at the beginning. V squared plus v is 8. So let's start all over again. I deliberately did this to show you that you don't always get to the right root, and therefore it's quite fine to sometimes struggle a little bit get to a point where you know, no, I'm not going to manage with this method, and then start all over again and try something else. So we're going to simply use v squared plus v is equal to 8 as it is, and then we're going to use that expression to find the value of v to the 4 plus v to the 3 plus 8v plus 7. And so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to start by saying, well, what we can do is we can take the first two terms and find a common factor, and we deliberately use v squared as that common factor. Then we sit with v squared plus v in brackets, and then we also have 8v plus 7. And what you can see here is exactly the expression that we were looking for. V squared plus v, and remember, if you take the top expression here, v squared plus v is equal to 8. And so what we will then do is we'll replace that expression in brackets by 8, and we can simplify that by simply writing 8v squared plus 8v plus 7. And we can again take a common factor from those first two terms, and the common factor again in this case will be 8. And if we take 8, we sit with v squared plus v plus 7, and as you can see, v squared plus v is equal to 8, and so this is going to be 8 times 8, which is 64, and 64 plus 7 is 71. And there we go, the answer is 71. Thank you very much.